and there was this group of kids, man. One of them was wearing a ski mask. They just
I was wearing a ski mask.
Yeah, it was 85 degrees out. But anyway,
Some fuck boys.
yeah, just some fucking goons. And they were just sitting there, like leaning up against a car. And then one of them was like kind of chilling on the sidewalk. And all of a sudden, these girls are like in a party about to take a photo. And this dude goes over the top, snags this chick's purse, and fucking just darts.
No way.
I'm like, what? I'm like, did that just fucking happen right now? Are you kidding me?
Mike's like, if I didn't have my Cuban link on right now, I'd have chased those kids down.
That's what I mean. He was hung down. He was like,
absolutely not. That fucking purse is gone, bro. No.
All right. Episode 36 of the Fair Enough podcast. Bob in Detroit, Mike in Chicago, Jack in Sag Nasty. 36. Oh. I don't have one. Who?
Jerome Bettis, bitch. Come on, the bus.
Oh, damn. That's the only one.
I'm pretty sure Shaq was 36 somewhere along the way, too. He was like 30, 31. He was all the 30s at one point in his career.
Was he? Maybe that was Phoenix. Maybe he was the Shaqtus, number 36.
I don't know when he was 36, but I'm pretty sure he was 36. It was either Phoenix, Miami, or Boston.
That's the best Shaq nickname too, the Shaqtus. When he was out playing for the Suns for a minute.
I didn't even honestly when you just said that I was like, what the fuck is the Shaqtus? I wasn't even gonna ask about it because I'm like, am I an idiot? And then you said it again, and I'm like,
registered for
it. Yeah, got there.
Use that one at your local bar next time Shaq comes up. It is football. Football happened. And we are now, it feels good too, because we are now on the correct week. We had previously been recording 1 week and then releasing the next week, but now we are live. This is Monday. The Seahawks and the Broncos are playing. So you guys will get this at some point this week before the game's coming up this weekend. But before we get into all that, we got to recap. Well, what is going on with you guys' chains? I don't even know what this is. And you guys were talking, your chains, and you were talking about it, and I just refused to talk about it because I was like, we'll talk about it on the podcast. If you're listening, Jack and Mike are both wearing some sort of Miguel Cabrera thick-ass chain right now.
Dude, we're the Cuban boys.
Dude, it's, first of all, I hate saying this. I hate saying this, but this is absolute fact, and I will fucking die on this sword. But every time something cool jewelry-wise comes out, I like, dude, the dangly earring cross, right?
Yep.
Dude, so I got my ears pierced at 18, right? That's fucking 2012, okay? Or
it's a long time
I was born in 93, so whatever the fuck that is. So I was born in 93. Whenever the fuck 18 years from then was, I got my ears pierced, right?
Yeah. And
I love fucking baseball, and Griffey, fucking Bonds, all the fucking coolest dudes. And I'm like, I want to fucking rock that. But I'm like, I look like a dumb bitch. And then fucking 10 years down the road, everyone's doing it. And I was like, I refuse now because everyone's doing it. And I should have just done it when I wanted to. But now I can't do it because I don't want to be one of those fucking jerk offs that, just jump on trends, which is cool and all. But and that's the same thing with like wearing like necklaces and shit. Like I've always I literally will scroll through like jewelry sites all the time. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's dope. But then I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Then all of a sudden it's cool as fuck to like wear stupid shit like this. Like where I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. So I just went out on a limb and I had a coupon for buy one, get one half off and fucking spent $100 on some necklaces, bro. What do you want me to do?
Buy one, get one half off at the jewelry store.
Dude, they're cool.
Yeah, hello, Ice.
I'm telling you, jewelry is like the gateway to confidence.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
Yeah. You feel like a bad motherfucker with a little bit of bling around your neck.
With an A.
Yeah. And
maybe
maybe like a singular ring on that tells people to fuck off.
I don't do rings. I got fat fucking fingers.
Pinky
man.
ring?
Rings don't.
Dude, I got sausage fingers too. They make them for us though, Mike. They make them for us.
Bob, I think he's underestimating these sausages.
Yeah, Mike's are gross. They're like,
oh, don't be mean.
Like when you see the Bob Evans sausages in the cooler at Meijer. That's what Mike's fingers look like.
Let's just say
They're like those
look at
thick
this.
fucking
Look at these.
turkey sausage.
Look at these.
Yeah.
Oh,
on.
man.
That thing's that's
I'd
a
hate
grip.
to be
Don't
Mikey's
let him get a hold of
girlfriend.
you. It's over. He ain't letting go. Mike is like the welterweight champ that never was, basically.
God.
Yeah, right.
Somebody sign this guy.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's always you always have a chain on, motherfucker.
I do,
You
but it's my
literally always have a
communion
necklace
chain, so
on.
it's not a cool chain. You guys actually have.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
that's lame
shit!
as
Is
fuck.
that
I'm
actually
sorry.
your communion chain?
Yep, it's the OG. Mom
That's
won't let
the
me have the cross
softest
though because
thing.
she's scared I'll lose it.
Oh, I'm scared you'll lose it too. That's a bad
But yeah.
thing to do.
Maybe I'll show up next week. I'll have like a septum, maybe a couple, maybe some gauges, and I'll really do this thing.
I think
Punk rock
because you
style.
have a big ass beak. I think
Yeah.
you look good with the nose piercing.
You
though.
think?
I got
Like
mine
a little
pierced
Hell
one
yeah.
time.
cute side one, like Jason
Yeah,
Derulo
little
style.
dot. Little dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you look good with it. Honestly, I would get my nose pierced, but it's too late at this point.
It's over for you.
It's
Why is
very-
that? What's the timeline?
Have you ever had piercings?
No.
Have you ever pierced anything?
No.
It's a fucking pain in the ass, honestly.
Oh, really?
You fall asleep with them, they're jamming into your shit. You're fucking, especially because we're not used to wearing. Like I stopped wearing earrings a while ago. Like I love the way earrings look on me.
Mm.
Can't stand fucking wearing them.
Damn.
Have
'Cause
you
it's just
ever
like-
had your nose pierced, Mike?
No, I haven't.
It
Just my
hurts
ears, but like
it feels like you
Oh, I
sneezed 10,000 times at once.
You've had your
Oh,
nose
sure.
pierced?
Yeah, freshman year of college.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
Lasted about
it's
3 days.
Like
yeah, that
couldn't
shit
do
closes
it.
up fast.
Like the
too, if
dot?
You fucking take it out.
They put me with a dot, but I quickly changed it.
They
and
force
then,
you with the-
yeah, they force you with the dot,
don't they?
the stud, and then I changed it immediately to not that, and then it hurt
like a
like a
hoop?
mofo after like day 2.5, so I took it out and it resealed. Never did it again.
Wow, I'm so
Yeah.
pissed that I missed that time in your life. We need all of these pictures. Does Maya have any of these pictures?
I have pictures of the
It's
hoop
3
in
days,
there,
Bob.
dude. I have them all.
That's fucking insane. How did I not
You
know
might
that?
have to post one up right in the middle.
Bob,
Yeah, you better post one up right in the middle of this right now.
You guys did not want to know me my freshman year of college. I
You were
was
the worst?
the absolute. I don't even know who I was. It was an entire LSD trip for about 9 months straight, and I don't even know what happened. No clue who I was. I passed all my classes, but no clue how it happened.
Oh,
Jesus.
Nose
Okay.
pierced.
so that's a way that we can improve our lives. Let's go through the injury report really quick.
Love it.
Mike, somehow at the top of the injury report now. Like this whole thing flipped
Yeah.
over, and Mike's feeling the best.
I'm actually today I had a doctor's appointment and I'm cleared to go back to work, full work. I only have 3 weeks left of therapy, and then I should be ready to they told me I'd be ready to play sport.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That quick?
Dude, I mean, I don't know about I think I'm gonna still have to do shit after the fact, like continue to run, continue to stretch, continue to fucking do the shit I've been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next time I go there tomorrow, they're gonna test my the maximum I can do with my legs, a leg press, a single leg press on my right leg, which is my good leg, and then my left leg. And if they say if I can get to 80%, if I can get to 80% of my right leg with my repaired leg, then I can start sprinting and running. And then once I get to 90% of that, I'll be cleared to play sports.
That's nuts. He's back.
Yeah. I'm back, but I'm gonna ease into
Yeah.
it. Thank God the baseball season is ending, because otherwise I would fucking
You'd
force
be
it and probably
thinking?
hurt myself. Oh yeah. Well, so it's funny you asked before we get into your guys' injuries. So our baseball season, you have to be at 8 games in order to play in the playoffs, right? I've been at 8 of our games, and I can technically have put myself on the roster to be eligible for playoffs, but I intentionally was like, I'm not putting myself on this roster because once the playoffs
You
come,
knew.
I would be suiting the fuck up. Our first playoff game is tomorrow,
Damn.
and let me tell you what, your boy will be batting fucking 2. Easily.
Tomorrow, you think you would?
Dude, I'll just jog to first base and fucking get a runner because you can get a courtesy runner.
Wow.
So I'd have a courtesy runner.
You're a crazy person.
For sure, I'd be playing because I'm a stupid fuck.
Are you to the point where you like feel good on it, where you're like you can favor it?
Yeah, not like yes, not like completely where I'm like, oh yeah, like it's, but like I'm doing like a lot of like one-footed jumps, like jump off my left, land on my left
Damn.
without the right,
That's crazy.
and like that shit, it's tough, but like it doesn't. It's like it doesn't hurt. It's sort of like a fatigue thing. Like I'm just tired.
Right.
Like it's like I haven't done this in a while. But yeah, so I mean, like I trust it honestly. At work today, it was the first time I had to work, and I have to inspect semi trailers. I have to get under them, and like I had to squat and shit, and like it was a little sore and like tight, but it wasn't too bad. Like it's kind of wild how fast all this shit happened.
Damn.
Yeah, but how are y'all?
I'm good. I'm okay.
broke-ass
So quick
Brennans.
one. I'll go
Broke
through
boy
mine quick
Brennans.
because I don't really have too much of an update. I'm kind of in the same place. I'm like hobbling around. I'm definitely not helping myself at all because I was at the Lions game. I was at a concert. Both those this weekend. Like we'll get into the Lions game
Yeah.
later, but yeah, dude. So I'm not doing myself any favors. I am stretching it now, though. Shout out to Hayden, physical therapist friend of ours, gave me some stretches to do for it. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's really like my Achilles is okay now. It's more so coming up at the bottom of my calf where the pain is. So it's working.
So are you taking like a jump rope and pulling the front of your
Yeah,
foot?
so taking like a band, pull the front of my foot, do a lot of like
Yeah.
stuff with the wall where I'm putting my foot up and just kind of
Yeah.
leaning different ways, kind of doing like lunges where I'm just stretching the back of my calf. But I don't know how long it feels like it could take forever. And I'm like where you're at right now, that's why I asked you, because I'm terrified to like lean on it or do anything, because I've had a couple times where like I'll step on the curb and that's too much. Like I'll step the center of the curb and that like pulls my foot down. That's tough.
Dude, bro, there was times probably like 2 months, like a month and a half ago or so, like where my knee would still like buckle. And like just walking on like rock, like anything, dude, and like that shit is terrifying. So I know exactly what you're feeling. You're like,
yeah,
oh,
that's exactly
but
what
you're
it
like,
is.
oh, this didn't. But you're like, oh, is it worse now? Am I gonna die? Like, what's going on? Like, it's that dude. It's all mental. Honestly, it's a lot of mental.
Dude, you guys are
to be
scaring
honest with
me
you.
because I didn't think my knee was that serious, but that's the exact feeling I have had several times today, where I step one weird way and I'm like, holy cow, is that the end of my knee?
The newest member of the long-term IR is Jack. And from what it sounds like, you're going to be out. Now you're going to be out the longest. So what happened?
Dude, I started running again last week, and I also play like 36 holes of disc golf every single day. And I think my knee just had enough of it.
Which knee is it?
It's the outside of my left knee. Gary says it's my PCL. That's
diagnosis from Gary. Gary also diagnosed my leg, so he's got 2 diagnoses this month.
Yep, it's a good month for Gary. Yeah, but yeah, so I don't really know. I didn't do a whole lot this weekend other than vigorously walk the streets of Detroit with you, which was probably not a great idea. But I mean, I wasn't like running. I stopped running. I stopped golfing for a couple days there, and it improved a little bit. So
this happened the same day that you went running? Like, I know you went running with Mom the one day, so that was all cement. So, like, did it happen the same day where you started to feel it?
I ran like 4 days consecutively, and by the end of the week, my knee was just in pain. Bad.
Damn.
What kind of shoes do you wear?
I have like some nice Adidas running shoes.
Do they have the Boost in them?
Yeah, they're Boost.
Damn.
Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure those aren't that good for you, dude.
Really?
When it comes to running, because if you think about it, like the Boost is pretty soft. So when you're landing, you're not always landing heel to toe properly. You could be landing, if you land on the inside of your foot, there's more give to it. Right. So then it's more likely for your knee to kind of shift. instead of you're on a little bit flatter, flat, like more, not flatter, you still want good padding and stuff, but more stabilized soles, your foot will stay proper, and then you don't have as much shift in the
I'm
rest of
also
your knees. I would stop running
I'm
in
also a
those, especially if they're like
pigeon-toed son of a
NMDs.
gun, which does not help any sort of my situation.
And that shit's leaning harder on the outside.
It's bad, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I would, no joke, bro. So I would just stop running in fucking Adidas shoes and I always come back to D Rose on this, because they blamed D Rose's first ACL tear. They said that it probably was partially because of his shoes. And then that year was when Kevin Ware from Louisville, they wear Adidas. His fucking bone came out of his fucking shin. There was a lot of
Bob's gonna
Adidas
pass out.
athletes that tore their ACL and got hurt and all that shit. So I fuck Adidas unless you're doing like, if you're working out normally, but if you're doing cardio, I personally would stay away from Adidas. They're too comfy.
Damn, dude. Adidas was like hitting me up via email too for the sponsor.
Yeah, they actually.
And now it's fucked.
Mr. Adidas texted me today. He
just
said,
saying.
"Hey, how's Fair Enough looking?"
Yep,
So,
Don
but
Adidas.
I guess I'm just gonna block him now.
Yeah, just saying. I'm just looking out for your
Okay.
fucking knees.
And that's the injury report
Even
brought to you by Adidas.
yeah. Even my therapist, because I have a pair of NMDs and like I wore them the one day, and I wasn't thinking, and she was like, "You shouldn't be," like, it was a lot of like balance shit, and she's like, "You shouldn't be doing these these stretches and workouts in those shoes." So I had to do like the whole therapy session in my socks,
And
because she didn't trust it, and this was still early on, like where my knee wasn't fully stable yet. So I'm just saying.
okay. Yeah. So we're all. I mean, impossibly, we are all hurt right now. It makes no sense. And I don't know. I don't know a single other person in my life. Well, I know one other person that's injured. That's it. Besides that, it's us three, and we happen to do this podcast.
Yeah,
I love it.
So I don't know what to make of that.
We'll call it Broken Enough.
Yeah,
from
it's
now
the
on.
Broken Enough podcast with three dudes, and between us, we have three legs.
Is it all of our left legs?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yep.
Wow.
We're
a hell of a group.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get into my weekend later, but I didn't really talk to you this weekend other than, we do have to address this. You are not coming to Drew's, which is tough.
No.
And we're gonna miss you.
Do you understand where I'm coming from,
do.
though? I mean, bro, the thing is, so if I was able to play golf, and it's not health related, if I was able to get there to play golf, I would go. But you guys are playing at 10 a.m. I would have to leave my house at 4 a.m. to get there. And that would be driving straight to the golf course. I'm not doing that.
God, he's the worst. I tried to tell him.
Actually, it might even be worse than that, because you guys have an hour. It's like a 5.5 hour drive. So I'd have to leave at 3:30 a.m. to the tee time. So that's insane. And then it's like, okay, well, I can't golf. So it's like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to drive up there and then not be able to see you guys till 3:00 p.m. So then I would, it's like I'm going to drive 5.5 hours to sit there for maybe 12 hours and party, and then drive back home.
And you'd never make the drive Friday night?
I don't know.
No shot?
Dude, it's just too long. It's just too long.
Deep. God, it's so deep.
Like, I'm not trying to get there at 1 a.m., dude. Like, even if everyone will be up, I just don't want to. I don't like driving at night. You lose service out there. It's dark as fuck over by that. You know what I mean? And what am I going to do? I'm going to walk into you guys being drunk, which is cool. Like, that's okay. That's my own fault for living here. But, like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's because I fucking got injured and I had to use all my PTO. And that's what fucked it. So it is my fault. But, it's like
I'm Team Mikey here. I get it. If I was...
Yeah. And I think Drew gets it too.
Away, there'd be no shot. So, we just have this.
Just sucks because
we have this guys' weekend this weekend, but it's Mike in Chicago, and it is for real Mike in Chicago, and this thing's in up north Michigan, so it's a tough push for the boy.
But I know Chasey fucking texted me earlier this week and was like, "You coming, right?" And I'm like,
Can't beat the
I
push.
can't, man. He's just like, I'd love to see you, and I'm like, I'd love to see you too, brother. Like,
Right.
it's nothing
No,
against anybody.
love
It's
to be
just,
there. You'd be
I
the
know it
first one there
sucks.
if you could get there.
Yeah, 100%.
So what happened to you this weekend? I didn't really talk to you at all. I believe I got a snap from you in the middle of the day. It looked like you were like hammered in an Uber or something. Could this have been true?
Oh no, I put that on. No, I put that on my story.
Okay.
It was no, I was.
Take me through it. You
So
can go
I
through the timeline. We can get to that part.
Do you want me to go through that
Okay,
day? That
hit
was
me.
Saturday. So Saturday I had to go. So my buddy Norm, him, his dad, and his brother all have birthdays in like him and his brother have birthdays like fucking back to back almost. It's like literally within a week. But then their dad's birthday's in December, I think. So Norm's turning 30 this
That's a
year.
big one.
His brother's turning 21 this
shit.
year. And his dad's turning 60.
Oh my god, dude, it's the bash of all
So
bashes.
it was like, yeah, exactly. So they were like, all right, we're gonna, they throw this party. It was like out in a little forest, well, not even like a forest, but like a little park. They whatever had taco truck, shit like that. And it was fun. But I had another party to go to. It was my other buddy's like girlfriend. I mean, they lived together. She like graduated from like grad school or some shit like that. So they were having a graduation party. So I had to split the parties up. But in the middle of that, we went and picked up my brother's fiance. It was me and my brother together, and we were picking up Jackie. And I was like, I'm just gonna stay in the car. So the car's on. Taylor Swift comes on, and I'm buzzed.
Right.
I'm like in a good buzz, and I was just lip syncing to fucking Taylor Swift, and I put I'm in my zone.
That's what it was. Oh,
Yeah,
you're a jackass.
yeah. I was just out here.
Wait, so for this party, I would like to guess. I would like to try to guess who got the drunkest out of the 3 birthday men.
Well, I left at 5. The party started at like 1ish, and they had it booked till 8. When
Wait.
I left,
So
just take a guess.
It makes me think, even though, like, okay, so the 30-year-old is obviously your buddy, so that makes me think, like, okay, if he's like Mike's buddy, he could probably drink pretty well. Yeah,
Throw down. Yeah.
It's the kid's 21st. That's a huge day. Wouldn't shock me at all if the 60-year-old guy got hammered, because that's like just a day for it's a day for him. He needs to get blacked out to be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So what's your pick here?
When you left, it had to be the 21-year-old was the drunkest when you left. Yeah. Okay. Because they were getting 100%. After him early enough, for sure.
Yeah. And like, so honestly, I think my buddy Norm probably drank the most, but I think that the younger brother was definitely, I mean, he was fucking toasty. I mean, he was hammered, spilling, like just dropped his cup out of nowhere. Like, I'm just like,
the best.
Like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
you just lose all motor function.
And the dad, yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And the dad was kind of keeping it cool,
Yeah,
being
and by 8 o'clock,
so,
you bet your ass he was hammered, but he wasn't. He was pacing himself perfectly.
Oh, I bet you he was. Yeah, he was probably exhausted more than hammered, honestly. But yeah, I'm sure Norm got fucking. I mean, he was getting pretty drunk he was drunk at the time, but Angelo was fucked up. It was funny.
Jack is very ready for his 21st. We're close. We are.
Oh yeah.
2 months away.
Throwing down, eh?
Damn near 2 months a day, almost to the day.
What's your birthday? November 8th?
You know it. You're a good friend, Mike.
That was a good friend. That's a weird. How did you know that?
So we throwing down or what? Because you know how I knew that is because we went over the birthdays
and you remember that shit?
Remember? And well, because I know that he said like I'm the 8th and he's the 8th, and he goes, oh, we're both on 8th. So yeah, I remember
Mike's
it was
March
the 8th,
8th.
And then
that's wild.
Yeah.
Anyways,
bald brotherhood. What?
What were you gonna say?
But yeah, that was a good time. Dude, bro, check out this fucking story though, bro. Friday night. It's quick. So Friday night I go downtown, I meet Scoob. We go to some bar called the Poorhouse, whatever. That shit was cool. And then we went down the street to some other place. Can't remember what the fuck it was called. Fun though. But we're waiting in line. There was like this little outer area, like where there was tables and shit, and everyone's chilling there. And the line went right by it. And there was this group of kids, man. One of them was wearing a ski mask. They didn't look
I was
21.
wearing a ski mask.
So like, yeah, it was 85 degrees
no.
out. But anyways,
Some fuck
like,
boys.
yeah,
Yep.
just some fucking goons. And the thing is, like, they didn't look 21. They weren't in the line. They were just sitting there, like, leaning up against a car. And then one of them was, like, kind of chilling, like, on the sidewalk. And all of a sudden, like, I'm, like, right there. I'm, like, right at the edge. And all of a sudden, these girls are, like, in a
Yep.
party about to take a photo. And this dude goes over the top, snags this chick's purse, and fucking
No
just
way.
darts, bro. Yes, I was like, I'm like, what? I'm like, did that just fucking happen right now? Are you kidding me?
Mike's like, if I didn't
And,
have my Cuban
and then,
link
of course,
on
they're
right now,
running
I'd
away.
chase those
That's
kids
what I
down.
mean. He was hung down. He was like,
Oh, absolutely not. That fucking purse is gone,
couldn't
bro.
even pick
No,
his
no,
head
no.
up.
What are you doing? So the thing is, though, there was like two of them that kind of like didn't run away. They kind of just like walked away like fast.
That's a weird move.
And Steve's drunk ass starts talking shit to these kids though. I'm like, what are you doing? He's just like, yeah, pussy. He's like, yeah, I know that's your boy, blah blah blah. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, not that I thought these kids had a gun or something,
But they're
I'm
doing
like,
shit like that. Like,
you're not getting the purse back. And I was like, secondly, if they start shooting,
right.
I'm not with you,
Right.
I
brother.
think
Like, I'm gone. Like,
The
get
scariest part of kids that age, sorry to
What?
cut you off, is that when you're in high school, you don't
Yeah.
give a fuck about any consequence ever. So if anybody's just going to
No.
randomly pop a
No.
gun off, it's going to be some folks like that, you know, because
Right.
they don't give a shit.
Well, and that's what he's
You're
like, he's like, what, you think those kids will just start shooting? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what criminals do. They just shoot. They don't give a fuck. You know how many times people get hit with stray bullets in Chicago? All of the time.
Yeah,
All the
most
time.
of them.
Most
Yeah,
of the
all of the
shootings
fucking
are stray
time.
bullets.
And it's so funny too, because as he's like talking shit back, there's a chick behind him in line. And he's like talking shit. And the girl goes, you're spitting in my face. Can you please stop? And then he turned around and came back to line. I was like, Jesus
Spin
Christ,
zone,
dude.
he turns into the
Oh,
enemy.
my
People
God.
are like more mad at him
Yeah,
than the
I know.
first guy.
I know. Well, that's what I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, yeah, it sucks. But at the end of the day, cancel. As long as your phone wasn't in there, yeah, you might have lost a $200, $300 bag. It didn't look like it was too big, so I'm assuming it wasn't too expensive. And, you got to cancel some credit cards. Like you're at a bar, you don't have it's not like the grocery store
Right.
purse that you have your whole life in. It was the little fucking shoulder bag that's this big that probably fits your wallet, your phone, and I don't know, a tampon if you need it,
If you're blotched,
Like,
feeling blotched up,
so
And
or whatever they do.
yeah. So it's like, it is what it is. Shit happens, but I don't know. I just thought that was wild. I had never seen that before. Like, I'd never seen like an actual crime just straight up happen like that. Like, I've seen fights, but like never like a purse snatching or anything like that. I was
Dude.
like, this is crazy. I didn't know this shit actually happened. This is movies only.
And when you're standing there, the last guy you suspect is the guy in the ski mask. He's never gonna do something like that.
Wait, was it? And then,
Come on, man.
well, you're not really paying attention to them. You're just waiting in line, and then you turn, and I saw
thought
the
he
whole
was
thing.
going
Like,
to
what the
Chicago's
fuck?
new
Like, it was
indoor ski
crazy.
facility.
Yeah, dude, the dude in the ski mask in
Yeah,
the middle
dude,
of
what the fuck?
August.
Well,
He's not gonna do
you'd
some
be
shit like
surprised,
that.
though, dude. A lot of people, low key though, a lot of people, like, especially like you see these rappers and shit. A lot of them do
Yeah.
wear ski masks all the time. So like that's people like to emulate, or fashion wise, they like to wear what the people they like wear. So I get the ski mask. I don't think it was intentional that he was wearing the ski mask. I think it was just coincidental, to be honest with you.
But the ski mask goes. I feel like I'm not putting allegations on all rappers with ski masks, but the one rapper I do know that wears ski masks a lot is 6ix9ine, and I know that he shot some people. That's not even alleged. That's what I mean. So it's tough.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But
that's wild.
Isn't that wild?
I've never seen a live crime. Jack's technically seen a live crime.
Like I said, I've seen people fight.
I've seen a couple.
What happened, Jack?
Have you seen a couple?
Oh.
Oh, I
what are
know
you
what when
referencing?
Bob's
What are you
referencing.
referencing, Bob?
Dude, I'll tell the story. This one time I was 1 years old, and
I think we've told this story, have we?
no, I on the pod, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
I've never heard of any story
Oh,
when
Yeah,
Jack
you
was
so
might have
1
heard
years
this.
old.
I
So
was
no.
1, and we were at our first house down in the
Okay.
hood in Saginaw. It was a great place to be. So I was 1, which means Maya was 4 and Bob was 7. And they were both upstairs sleeping. My parents and I were downstairs on the couch, ironically watching Cops. And some dude, so my dad had just got done like painting my sister's new rocking chair. Okay, so it was sitting by the front window, like drying off. And this dude goes to break into our house. Like he reaches through the screen door and tries to unlock our front door. And so my dad waited for him to unlock the front door and then just pops him over the head with this rocking chair and knocked his ass out and called the cops.
Knocked his ass out, dude. This
Yeah.
dude was
Rob
drunk.
Senior.
He was hammered at the
Let's
bar, like
go.
around the corner from us, and he thought it was his house. So he tried to. That's why he was coming through the
that's
back door,
unfortunate.
because like he was just like, yeah, he goes through the back door of his house, thought it was his house, and yeah,
See, you almost like you don't feel bad because he got knocked out from getting knocked out, but you kind of almost feel bad because it's like there was no ill will. He
Right.
was just being a drunk asshole. You would
yeah.
think
I
there
don't
was
think
no
there
ill will,
was
at least
any
from
ill
what we
will. I
know,
think
because
he
it
was
obviously
just
didn't
a
last
drunk
very long.
asshole, caught in a bad
It was just
bad
like,
situation.
yeah, exactly. I mean, deservedly
yeah.
so though. You get knocked out because especially when there's
Right.
3 small children in the house, like you're getting either murdered or
A crazy situation.
knocked out.
Hilarious that it happened like WWE style.
Yeah.
With the
Dude.
fucking wooden chair,
Last
snapped it over
weekend,
his
though.
forehead.
Last weekend, our buddy Kyle did the same exact thing. We were at a bonfire at my buddy Emilio's house, who also lives down Weiss towards Bay. So it's not a bad spot, but Kyle walks into the wrong backyard and then doesn't see us, so he goes to like open the back door, and there's 2 guys out there.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Kyle
they
Brown.
didn't. Yeah, I wasn't gonna dox him. You did, so
Sorry, Kyle.
sorry,
Brown.
Kyle.
So what? Did they were just like, yo,
No,
what the
no.
fuck are
He
you doing?
just
Was he
had
drunk
never
or was
been
he
to the
just
house
getting
before.
there?
But I
The most
immediately
innocent kid of
thought.
all time.
Oh God.
I immediately thought of the story that I just told
Yeah.
because I was like, this guy probably didn't know either. You know, he was just trying to get home. That's all.
Right.
What they end up do? What they tell Kyle?
He was like, "Hey, is this the right house? Is this the bonfire?" And they were ironically also having a bonfire, so they were like, yeah, but we didn't invite you." So he just left and called me. He like went back out to his car, and then I just laughed hysterically.
This
when
is
I got
just
out
a
there.
bonfire. This is not the bonfire.
yeah,
The bonfire.
This is
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
not yours.
Yeah, this is one of the many
Yeah.
going on in the world
Yeah.
today.
Kyle Brown just kept showing up at
That's
random
funny,
houses
man.
and fireplaces.
Yeah, looking for the smoke.
Anything
Oh,
else
that's
from the
good
weekend
stuff,
here?
man. No, dude, I fucking
Just
yesterday I
rotted on
just
the couch.
rotted. Just so I was not even hungover, dude. I was just like, oh, it's all. You know what I did do,
Okay.
which I need some shame for, is I drove home on Saturday and I shouldn't have, and I'm pretty pissed at myself about that. I wasn't fucked up, but it was like a 30-minute
Damn.
ride, and there was no reason I should have driven. And I'm kind of
All right,
pissed.
we're
at myself for
accountability
that.
buddies
Yeah.
here. When we
I
fuck
like
up,
that.
we'll say it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was so mad. I was like, I got home and I was fine. Like literally the whole time, cruise control. You know, just have to steer. You know, didn't do anything dumb. But like, I'm like, and then I got home and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, it's
Right.
not like I didn't have a place.
Well,
to
and you're
stay,
better
you know?
because you always
Like,
you're
I don't
always
know,
going to be the
pissed.
first guy to say, "Hey, don't fucking drive." You know, right? You are.
Yeah,
the
no,
Uber
I'm
guy.
the Uber guy. I get Ubers everywhere. You know. So it's like, fuck. I don't know. I was kind of pissed at myself, and hopefully I don't do that again for a while or
There we go.
ever. but
Ubers are cheap,
that's not
people.
gonna happen.
Use them. It's cheaper than a DUI,
for
that's
sure.
for sure.
So
Okay. Football.
true.
Jack, you can play the Monday night
Football.
theme now. Dun, 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 ba-na, ba-na. But before we get into the NFL, let's get into college. But before we get into college, Let's talk about some Friday Night Lights. No. This episode and every episode, all 36, have been brought to you by Rogue Creative. Shout out to John Butters and the Rogue Creative team. Anything that your small business needs when it comes to marketing or advertising, graphic design, John and the Rogue Creative team can help you. Right now, they are helping gym owners get people back in your gym, especially when kids are going back to school. Everybody's got a lot of stuff going on, but it kind of feels like one of those times. It's almost like right after New Year's, I feel like, where people are like, all right, once school starts, for some reason, you got to start other shit and like make yourself better, right? So call John and the Rogue Creative team. They can help you get people back into your gym with some database reactivation. And once again, they can help your small business with anything it needs when it comes to graphic design or marketing. John's great. The Rogue Creative team is great. So find them at roguecreative.org or roguecreative_ on Instagram. That's roguecreative.org or roguecreative_ on Instagram. Okay. College football happened, and there were some things that we need to get into because a few teams got upset and it was brutal. So first off, that huge game. Did you catch any college football on Saturday? I assume not, because you were.
I caught very little bit. I paid attention to most of it throughout the day, but I caught like the beginning of the games and that like the Alabama game type shit, and then that was about it. I did not see much else, to be honest with you. But I paid attention to the scores and I lost all my money, but I did not see any of it.
So let's start with what could have been the game of the day, which was the Bama and Texas game, the marquee game of the day. Kind of a sick game. It got real tight at the end, but I think the highlight was kind of the beginning. So Quinn Ewers, the Texas quarterback, came out slinging. And I don't really know what the injury update is on him, but he got hurt in the middle of the first half. Was it his collarbone? Did it break?
Pretty sure. I heard I watched the halftime and it was Brady Quinn, Liner, Bush, them, all those guys, and they think that Quinn's like, I've broken my collarbone like that. So that was what they were suspecting at the time. I don't know what they didn't know, but I think that was what it was, is a collarbone. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know what it is, but I think it's that general area is what got hurt. And it was his. I believe it was his non-throwing shoulder.
So if that's it, yeah, that's tough. He's done.
Yeah,
the kid came out balling. He's a Joe Dirt looking motherfucker, but he came out balling. Like his demeanor was the most impressive thing to me. Like he'd take the snap, even like if he was doing a rollout, he was super calm in the rollout, looked through his reads, threw the football. Like every time it seemed like he dropped back with confidence, took his time, and threw the ball. And the kid just looked good, man. It's a real shame that he went down, because I think Texas wins that game if he doesn't go down. And Texas defense was playing solid. It's not that Bama wasn't executing. They were definitely hurting themselves on the penalty front, but they dropped a couple passes. The receivers were a little bit, you could tell, okay, this isn't Jamison Williams, John Mechie, and the other kid anymore. These are new 5 stars.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So they're going to be fine, but they just weren't clicking on all cylinders, and Texas, in true Texas form, perfectly didn't take advantage of it.
So he sprained his SC joint, which is the joint that where the collarbone and the breastbone, the sternum meet. So it was his collarbone, but he sprained the joint. It says 4 to 6 weeks he'll be out.
Oh, okay.
So it's not horrible, but it's enough for them to be fucked after this loss.
They got to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to win all.
But that kid, what was his name? Cade? No, not Cade. The kid that came in.
Yeah, Hudson, whatever his name was. Dude, Hudson Rivers.
They said that he was the
Card.
Yeah, Cards. Yeah. They said that he was the number 4 quarterback in that high school class, and the number 1 and 2 are Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. So there's only one other guy in that class that was better than him, other than
Right.
literally the 2 Heisman candidates. So it's like this kid might be able to sling it. Maybe not against the Alabama defense-esque, but they might be
Dude,
able to survive with him is what I'm trying to say.
Texas
Yeah.
was moving the ball with this dude, though.
They were. He was solid. I think he just needs time, really, more so than anything. Like he's not as he's just a little bit more of a raw talent than what Quinn is. Like,
Yeah, 100
Well,
Quinn,
yeah,
I
and
think.
he was also he did not go into this game expecting to play.
No, exactly.
Not even a little bit.
He took all his reps all spring and summer with the second team. Like,
Yeah, of course.
he was never going to be the guy. So
Yeah.
I don't think he expected to play either. But yeah, so that game was sick,
dude. You know what's funny is that for that game
yeah.
too, I literally said it because it was 18-16, right?
Mhm.
Or was it 19-17? What was the final score? 20-19.
20-19.
Right? Okay, so it was 19-17, and there was a minute and 26 seconds left. And I'm like, dude, watch. I'm like, Bryce Young's gonna get him down there. They're gonna kick this extra point, and everyone's gonna be like, look at the resiliency of Bryce Young. This is why he's the number 1 quarterback, blah, 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 blah. He does exactly that. 10 seconds later, I get a fucking ESPN notification. Bryce Young leads this Alabama team with no time on the clock. Fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
You should have beat that. They were a 21-point fucking favorite, kid. You got to be winning by at least 15. Fuck you, Bryce Young. And I like Bryce Young. But don't come at me like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. They Bama fucked everybody. Everybody had Bama to cover. If you didn't have Bama to cover, you're a fucking loser. It was 20 and a half.
Yeah.
The number was screaming at you to take it, and everybody took it. And Vegas won a fucking mint.
All of the money. Yeah.
All of the money.
Yeah. 100%.
And I hate taking shot games like that. I hate it, especially when it's Bama. Nobody wants to see Bama win, but that number was too good to be true.
Yeah,
It was.
I mean, it's just you think that defense, or I mean that offense was going to put up more points, and they didn't. And it's like, but once
Did
again,
you guys
a
see
couple
the dude
miscues in
who
there.
he bet like $13 to win $1 million on the bottom 4 guys in the NASCAR race this weekend to qualify, and all 4 of them did?
Yeah, I did see
He
that.
fucking won it.
What a milli.
Oh my
insane.
god.
That disgusts me. That literally disgusts me. Not because he won so much, but it's like, who the fuck thinks to bet that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, he was gonna play a different bet. He was gonna run like some sort of football parlay, and then somebody got hurt last minute. So he was like, well, fuck it. I've got some free cash on this app to spend, and I gotta spend it today, so I'll just throw it on this.
Bro, fuck that. There was a guy yesterday that put $5 on the fucking Ravens exact score. And the score was like 24-9 or some shit. Like, that's the weirdest score. And it was like plus 45,000 odds, and he won. Guy put $5 down and won $2,200. Fuck you. Like, what the fuck, dude? Go buy a hamburger with that $5. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude, go get yourself a piggy bag.
Yeah, but anyways, let's move on with this college football. There was some other good shit that happened this week.
Yeah. Next biggest thing, maybe the biggest thing of the weekend, was Marshall beating Notre Dame. I mean, this is one of those games that just kind of fucks with your brain a little bit, because last week Notre Dame played real tight with Ohio State, like fucking tight, and they look good. Defensively, they looked really good. And then a marshalling thundering herd, the thunderingest herd, comes waltzing into Notre Dame Stadium and fucking beats them. And then your brain's in a pretzel, because who's good now? Is Ohio State stink? Does Bama stink because of the Texas thing? Like, what is going on? And these are two teams I thought were unbeatable in Ohio State and Bama. And now, jury's out.
I think Bama's beatable. I think that Georgia got snubbed from the get-go. They should have been number 1 consensus. I don't give a fuck what they did or did not have coming back. They had their quarterback. That's enough for me. They should have been number 1. They won the national championship. I think they got absolutely snubbed, and they're playing like it. Alabama's fucking Alabama, and they think that they're fucking Jesus, and they're good. They're going to make the playoff, I think. They'll probably win the SEC, honestly. They'll probably beat Georgia for the fucking championship. Yeah.
And they don't got the receivers, though, man, and it showed on Saturday.
100%. And I think Ohio State though. I think it was first game jitters. You saw Stroud miss a lot of easy passes in that Notre Dame game. You
Yep.
saw stupid miscues here and there with them. I
True.
don't think Ohio State comes close to losing the game this year after that. Like
No.
I think they run through the whole Big Ten. I think it was just that first game. Like fuck it, who's gonna have more intensity? And
Yep.
Notre Dame came out with it, but the talent ended up prevailing still. I kind of think it was the same way with that Texas Alabama game. I think it was just like, hey, nobody thinks we're gonna win this game, but we
Yep.
know that we're actually a solid squad, and we're gonna fucking put it to them. And in the end, they lose. Still, it's just kind of how it always goes. But I think that Alabama is very not beatable, but they're very they're not complete. I think Ohio State's very
Right.
complete team still. I think I think Notre Dame is a shit squad.
They are, and if I'm a Notre Dame fan, I'm not even coming close to hitting the panic button here because
Oh no,
you got a first-year head coach who all the players seem to love, which means
Yeah.
he's probably going to be good on the recruiting trail. You got a quarterback that hadn't started any games yet, and now he's hurt. So now you have a quarterback who, in Notre Dame circles, and I'll get to this later in the gambling corner,
I was gonna say
people
isn't there a
think that
weird
he's
line?
not very good.
Yeah,
We'll get to that later. But, yeah, I mean, Marcus Freeman, you got to give the guy a little bit of time.
I was gonna say
he
I feel
inherited
like
a rebuild. It's what
yeah,
it is.
I was
what
gonna
it is.
say if people are starting to write him off already, I think that's very unfair.
Hmm.
But I mean, he is 0-3 in the games he's coached. But yeah, I mean, Ohio State doesn't really count. Who the fuck did they play last year? They played someone at Clemson or something. Who they play in the bowl game? Someone
Yeah,
really
somebody
good.
like that. Somebody good.
Where it's
It
like,
wasn't
okay,
Clemson.
it wasn't Clemson.
Mm-mm.
It was somebody good though, obviously. So it's like, yeah, you're playing two elite squads first couple games, and then you lose to Marshall. That's a tough one though. I agree with you. I wouldn't hit the panic button either. I just don't. I'm just glad they lost this game because I didn't want them to sneak into the playoffs still somehow because they don't deserve it personally.
Right.
But
Quickly, we'll go through a couple more here. We got the team that I knew was frauds. I got receipts in the group chat. Texas A&M, completely fraudulent. Appalachian State goes in there, beats them 17-14. They can't do anything on offense, Texas A&M.
it's so funny.
I
Didn't
don't
they
know.
win? Go ahead.
I'm probably going to get to what you were just going to say. Their recruiting classes the last 4 years have been like 1, 3, 4, and 7. So
No, that's not what I was going to say. But yeah.
where all these kids are at, I have no idea. But Jimbo is recruiting talent. It's just the talent is not being developed, which
Yeah.
I've seen before because it's also a Harbaugh issue to some extent. So Appalachian State, also not a joke. Anybody in the Sun Belt, if you have a Sun Belt team coming to fucking play you this week, like, I don't know what you got to do, but prepare extra because these teams are not any joke. Between Coastal, App State, Marshall, they're a problem. So,
yeah, I mean, you're taking down fucking, Notre Dame and fucking and SEC talent. Like, yeah, it's real shit.
don't
And App
schedule
State
these teams.
Didn't App State the week previous put up like fucking 40 points and lose or some shit?
Yeah, they went to war with North Carolina. To war.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was North Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah.
They had. And they should have won that game, right?
They should have won
kid
that
dropped
game. They
a
should be
2-point
2-0.
conversion. Yeah, against ACC and fucking SEC talent.
Yeah,
Not that the ACC is all that great, but North Carolina is a respectable squad.
absolutely. And they should have 2 wins and like $3 million in their pocket because these teams are paying them to come play. So
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so shout out to App State. I hate them still because of what they did to Michigan, but it is what it is. I'm glad that they're wreaking havoc on other teams to kind of take the sting away.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we'll get to this just because it was a ranked matchup, but Kentucky and Florida. I did not see a single lick of this game, but everything that I heard about it was Anthony Richardson really, 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 really shit the bed, and he is Florida's quarterback.
They lost, right? Florida lost?
Florida lost at home in the swamp, yep, at night.
Yeah.
It was the same setup as last week. But Kentucky came in, and I guess Will Levis didn't look that great either. But Kentucky put up 26. Florida couldn't muster any sort of offense, which is crazy. If you watched the game last week, Anthony Richardson looked like God.
I have
and I
two
was
things to
declaring him a
say
lion.
regarding this game. Yeah, Bob was rooting for him to get drafted by the Lions. But here's the thing.
and now
This
I'm not
dude
so sure.
did not make, and I did not witness the first game that he played, but when I was watching this last game this Saturday, he did not make one football play the entire time. Not even
Really?
one singular time did I see this dude make a football play. Like,
That's wild.
he looked like D-Rob if he had his shoes tied or something. Like something was off.
Something
You know
was
what I'm
off with him.
saying?
That was what people on the radio were saying too. Something was off with him.
Like, he's definitely, you can tell he's an athletic body who has the ability to be playing at a high level at the quarterback position, but it was maybe one of those days where, you know, he couldn't get the last play out of his head or something like that, because I was not seeing all of the things that I had heard about this dude. Second of all, though, I would like to say that I think it is quite comical that Kentucky is ranked higher than MSU right now.
Hilarious.
I have never even dreamt about something more magical than that.
Kentucky came in at 25, and then they won, and then they just beat number 12 when they were at 20. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Michigan State hasn't played anybody yet. They're not going to move up or down. They're going to stay pretty much where they're at until they play a Big Ten team, like a good Big Ten team.
It is still
I
funny,
agree.
though.
I just love it. Yeah.
It is funny.
No, yeah. Dude, also, hey, my cousin goes to Kentucky. Shout out to my cousin Franny.
Lexington.
She knows what's up. Go Wildcats. But dude, last thing on college football, bro. Dude, did you see Utah? They had 73 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I thought they were going to score. I'm like, they're going to score 100 points.
What
no
was
shit.
the spread on that game?
I think it was like 40.
I got it open right now.
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough. But dude,
45 and a
73
half.
points. Yeah,
No
they covered
problem.
it by 20. But dude, I think it was they had 73 and there was like 14 minutes left. I'm like, dude, they're gonna get to 100.
Jeez.
Like, I would have just got it to 100. Like, I know you don't want to run it up too much, but like, I would have been like, hey, backups, gas on fucking pedal to the metal, foot on the fucking gas right now. We're getting to 100.
It's a
bro.
hard analogy.
Like, fuck it. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that is
So,
crazy. 73 points. Shout out to anybody that had the over in that game. Shout out to you, because
Yeah, they probably barely hit it.
that one had to feel good, dude. It was 58.
That's funny. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. My bad. Shut
They
up.
hit it by 20. They hit both by 20.
Oh man.
But plenty more good stuff to come in NCAA this year. This week's kind of light, though. There's really no ranked. There's one ranked matchup, and it's Miami, Texas A&M, and that game's gonna be, it's fraud versus fraud in the Who Cares Bowl. That's what that fucking game is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really else of note. BYU, Oregon's a little bit of juice only because it's in Oregon, but I think BYU rolls. And then I got some other games that I'll give you here for the gambling corner, but let's do a little bit of NFL recap first. Let's go through the North here, because I think the North was very interesting yesterday, and let's start in what seemed to be Hurricane Katrina 2 happening in
Dude,
fucking Chicago.
That shit was fucking wild.
Did
bro.
you guys know this was going to happen? I turned the game on. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of rain.
They knew it was supposed to be really rainy.
Okay.
I don't think they knew it was going to be like that, but I mean, it was like 100% chance of rain type of situation, you know?
On an already comically bad, not well kept
Yeah.
field.
Well, they just laid the sod like on like Wednesday,
Ugh.
because they've had fucking they had fucking, you know who Ramenstein is, or Ramenstein?
Yeah.
Dude.
Those guys
They
put on
had
crazy
them.
concerts.
Yeah, so they had them, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Bad Bunny all in like 2.5 weeks, just ruining whatever the fuck was down.
Yep. And
So they relayed all the sod on like that Wednesday.
and then Kanye's always got his residencies. Soldier Field takes a dang in the summer.
Oh yeah, well, it's because it's owned by the city. That's
Right.
why the whole Arlington thing is happening.
Shout out to Chicago today with the
yeah,
Yeezy shirt.
St. Pablo. Let's go. Come on. But yeah, dude, that shit was crazy, and everyone is kind of like, We had, I think, like 30 yards of offense in the first half.
And what was
I think.
was the finger on the panic button at that point, or was it like this is because of the
Well,
rain?
it was definitely because of the rain. Because you saw their play calls. It was super conservative. It was like don't throw a pick six essentially.
Right.
And if you watch the game towards the end, the reason why we won, Trey Lance throws a fucking pick. Eddie Jackson gets it down to like the fucking 11-yard line. 2 plays later, we're up fucking 14-7.
Really? I didn't know that.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like it was kind of like honestly, it seemed like a game that was like whoever's gonna fuck up the most first, whoever's gonna let this weather fuck them up first is gonna lose. And Kyle Shanahan was fucking rolling the dice, letting Trey Lance throw the ball. And I mean, not that he was like making horrible throws. It was kind of like both of them were. You saw the rain.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we made less mistakes, and in that kind of game, that's kind of how that goes.
Right.
I don't think that game. The only thing it shows me as a Bears fan is that they're resilient. That they were like, hey, just because we didn't do shit in the first half, we're not out of it. Know your elements. We can still win this game. I love that. But it shows me nothing as to what the team's going to be the rest of the year. Personally,
Yeah. I was gonna say it's so hard to judge a team off of a game like that. It's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There was a couple plays that Justin Fields made where like he scrambled out, literally went all the way to the far sideline, saw our receiver because the whole fucking Niners defense scrambled back to him. He thought he was running, found him, fucking lobbed one up like 30. I mean, he got like a 50-yard plan. Like it was
I saw that.
He used his eyes real well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it was the guy was wide open, but like for him to keep the ball in a throwing position, see him make that throw. Like I like shit like that.
That's kind of what you wanted to see from Justin Fields all along, too. A little Russell Wilson
100%.
type of schoolyard bullshit, the shit that he's good at on the move.
Yeah, no, definitely just seeing that. Yeah, the decision making. The amount of times he slid behind the line of scrimmage, I fucking love that.
Yeah, that's good.
Like there was like at least 2 or 3 times where he just went down. Yeah, he was getting it too much. It's like I liked it, but also as a team as a whole, I don't think this team is very good still. So win wise, like I don't think that means shit. We stole one from a good team.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna happen too often unless we're playing in swamps all year.
Yeah, dude, couldn't have happened in a better matchup for you guys as far as
for sure
a team that's supposed to be good that you're definitely supposed to lose to, and a rookie quarterback in week 1. Like that was like literally no whatever perfect storm. Fucking perfect storm.
It was the most ideal thing ever.
It was. Let's get over to before we get to the Lions game. Oh, you got anything else on the Bears?
The shit show. No, let's get to the shit show in Minnesota.
Yeah, let's get to the shit show in Minnesota. Well,
sure.
I kind of watched a lot of this game actually, but dude, the Minnesota offense is so confusing to me because when it's good, it's really fucking good, but they just don't. They can never put it all together and do something with it all year.
They're the most mundane, boring, fucking just Mickey Mouse ass good offense I've ever seen.
That's exactly what it is. If they had Andy Reid there calling plays, like.
But the thing is, though, I don't know if Kirk Cousins can do that.
No,
I don't know if Kirk Cousins can run that kind of offense.
It's that David Blau magic.
Dude, like,
once you get him on your team, anything could fucking happen.
That must be what it is.
There was like 3 times that Justin Jefferson, who's arguably the best receiver in the NFL, okay, 100% the best player on the field when he's out there in that matchup, literally did a fucking 15-yard crossing route. No picks, no nothing. Green Bay's in a zone, and somebody's not on him.
Right.
Like 3 times, wide open, got like 40-yard gains.
It was the same play, you're right.
It's crazy. It was the same play.
Crazy.
Literally, just a play action, turn around, you see Justin Jefferson just running straight across the field.
Softest post,
wide
fade, like it was just a drag, the laziest.
Just keep going. Yes, keep going to the sideline. And it's like, How do you let that happen? Let Adam Thielen do that to you. Let fucking Irv Smith do it. Let that other fucking kid, number 17,
Yep.
Kendrick Osborne, or whoever the fuck you, let those guys do that. How do you let 18 see a fucking inch of fucking grass in front of him? You don't. You fucking wreck that guy's life all day long.
The issue,
And they just refuse
the
to.
biggest issue I have with it, and this came out in the post-game presser, is that they have one of, if like arguably the best corner in the league in Jair Alexander. Like,
Yeah,
and he
100%.
was saying in the presser after the game, all we talked about all week, which is what everybody should be talking about all week when you play the Vikings, is don't let
Cover
18
18.
beat us. Anybody else can
Yeah.
beat us, and it's not going to hurt that bad. Don't let 18 beat us
Yep.
because we're going to lose by
Yep.
100. And what do? They run
Yep.
these soft zones, and Jair was like, I told coach, I begged coach all week, let me just shadow this guy.
He
He
said
did
that.
say that.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Oh, I
I
agree.
don't really like when players do that and go over coaches' heads like that. But for something where it's like he's not talking shit, he was just saying
He
like,
was just saying what happened.
"This is what
This
I
is what
want."
happened. This is what
Yeah,
I asked for.
and I appreciate
Mhm.
that. Yeah, and it's like, cause like, why not, dude? Like, I don't know. And like, Green Bay's defense is supposed to be
They're good.
one of the better defenses in the league this
Right.
year. Yeah, like they're good. They did well stopping the run for the most
Mhm.
part. One guy, you can't let a guy get 180 yards receiving on you, bro. Like you just
No,
can't.
because that kind of coaching fucks up your run defense, dude. When you got
Yeah.
everybody in your secondary all worried, and now your line's worried that when they hand it off to Dalvin Cook, now it's a problem. Whereas normally you could stop him if you were buttoned up on the back end like you should be. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about the pack, dude. We haven't even gotten into the offense yet. Like,
It's
it's bad.
I love it.
I love it more than
And
anything in the world. I hate seeing the Vikings
dude,
be good, but I love seeing the pack be shitty.
I would rather see the Vikings win the fucking division over the Packers any day
Oh,
of the
same.
week. I don't care what anyone
Same.
says. So, dude, I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers that frustrated, that like just kind of almost dumbfounded
Mhm.
almost in a long time, dude.
People were wondering
Like,
today, is it the relax mentality that they had last year after they got beat by the Saints? Or is this something different? Now they don't have Devontae Adams to unrelax you. Like, you got to deal
yeah.
with this shit the rest of the
I mean,
year.
dude, and it could just be like, they didn't get enough. I don't get how they couldn't get enough, gotten enough reps in practice throughout the camp and shit. But like, just the timing was
Yep.
embarrassing. The hot routes were embarrassing. The run game was solid.
It was.
The
They
the
didn't give it to
the
Aaron
the
Jones
O
enough,
line,
though. The guy was gashing them, and they
no,
refused. It's a Lions problem that we'll get
dude,
into.
yeah. But I don't understand that either. And I think though they're gonna have a lot of two back sets.
Yeah.
My thing is early on, bro. Like I know that like Jones is good and Dylan is good. I don't need your, like, if I'm a coach and I got what I would say is fringe elite running
Mhm.
backs, I'm not trying to kill one of them. Like, like I know they have set plays for like, hey, if this is in the game plan and like this is where you get the ball, you get the ball. But like I don't want to overuse a guy this early in the season unless it's like, hey, one play left type of thing. Like we're gonna have to ride you. But like I, I don't know. Like I think the run game was doing all right. I think Aaron Jones should have touched the ball more as well. But I also think that there's a game plan put in place where you know how running backs
Yeah.
are, man. They're 90% of them don't play fucking 16, 17
Right.
games. So it's like, and you assume you're going to make the playoffs. You want these guys healthy. So I get it. But that was embarrassing. And the amount of times that Rodgers had to tuck the ball, like pump fake and not throw it and then get sacked, I was like, this doesn't happen when you have receivers that are in tune with what you're doing.
Right.
Like, it's showing. It's funny. It's going to be a long fucking
It
season,
is,
dude.
and he's gonna be pissed, and who knows what kind of move he's gonna make. If he tries to go somewhere, or if it gets so bad that he does try to go somewhere. But one thing that I don't think people are talking about enough is that play to Christian Watson where he just dropped the ball.
Was it the first play of the game
It
or
was
second
like,
play of the
yeah, it
game
was
for them?
it was the first or second, and people are talking a lot about how he just dropped it and Rodgers was pissed. Can we talk about how that guy was like 4 or 5 steps past everybody? Like, that dude is a fucking problem. If he catches that ball, he is gone. And I think like people are going to
Yeah.
have an issue with that when he starts catching the ball, because that was the thing that he did at North Dakota State. That was like, can he translate?
just run
He just
past
ran
people.
past people.
Yeah.
So if he can do that consistently
Yeah.
in the league, he's going to be
I-
a problem out there.
I honestly think that play though, even though it was very early, really dictated the rest of the
did.
game. It was like it would have been 7-7, whole different story. You'd be like, oh, and then it was just like after that, it went just down fucking hill, dude.
That's the NFL, man. It's all about
you know-
staying in it and momentum.
Yeah.
And if plays
Yeah.
like that can just break it.
And yeah, you gotta take advantage of shit like that too. Like when you drop touchdowns, bro. Like I feel like drop touchdowns might be the biggest. Like I'd rather let up a 70-yard touchdown than have a drop touchdown. You know what I mean? Like just the deflation of your whole
Yep.
offense. It's like we had the perfect play and it
And we
didn't pan out.
wasted it.
How are we gonna score on the? Yeah, we wasted the perfect play. On fucking Adam
Yep.
Sandler, dude. Like we wasted the good surprise on him.
The good surprise on you.
So. But yeah, that game, it's fun. It's fun to watch. I like it. I think Minnesota is going to be good, but I just think they'll lose to teams they're not supposed to lose. So I feel like that's the Minnesota way. Like I feel like they lose
That's what
to
they do.
mediocre teams.
You're absolutely
a lot.
right.
So
it's
we'll
just
see.
one of those things like we talk about in the NFL. Like certain teams have good offenses, certain teams have good defenses, certain teams lose games that they definitely shouldn't. And those are the teams that always go 8-8 or 8-9 now, and that's the fucking Vikings
forever.
Last but not least, the Detroit Lions also played football on Sunday at 1:00 Eastern. I was at the game. Jack and I were at the tailgate. The city was bananas on Sunday.
I was gonna say
more
dude,
people
you heard it on the TV.
Yeah, did you? It was coming
that place
through.
was rocking.
Okay, good, because it felt like it was rocking when we were in there. It was as loud as I've ever heard it. I've been to 3 Monday night games, a Sunday night game, and plenty of 1:00 games, and that's the loudest I've ever heard that place. The first quarter was crazy. Obviously, the Lions go down and score, but it was just so loud in there. So shout out to everybody that made it out to the game and kept it loud in there. But the Lions, I mean, they did what the Lions do. They had a great first drive. Everything was banging on all cylinders. And then all of a sudden, we had 3 months to prepare for Jalen Hurts running the football, and we didn't do it at all. Like, there was no preparation in place for Jalen Hurts to scramble, and he burned us, and that was where all their offense came from. And after that, they just kind of got the lead and did their thing and coasted, and then they were spreading the ball around a little bit. But
well, dude, yeah, I mean Jalen Hurts had 86 yards rushing yesterday. Dude, 50 of them were in the first quarter.
Yeah, killed us,
and that's
gassed us.
Yeah, and that because exactly that and that's what kept them in those drives early, and then all that shit opened up. I mean, AJ Brown fucking ate after that. You know what I mean? It opened up everything, and then they were able to fucking get a couple plays down the middle. Then they got the pick six. That was obviously problematic.
Dude, I could not believe it.
Well, what's your take on
I was
the
watching
game?
the game cast on the way home.
What's your take on the game overall?
Because I was driving home from Detroit, and every single 15 seconds, Hurts to Brown, completion, 17 yards. Hurts to Brown, completion, 26 yards. I was like, how many times are these fucking assholes going to connect? I have no clue.
Yeah. Well, it reminded you watching Justin Jefferson after that. That's what it reminded me of. It was the same kind of thing, man. Like he was just kind of lazily running through. They hit him over the middle 1,000 times, and he was just wide open every time. I mean, the guy was just making plays.
I mean, think about it though. That comes back to how bad the fucking linebacking core is for that team. Like you can't expect your quarterback or your cornerbacks to lock up a number one receiver all day long without any help up the middle. Like you're gonna get got. And then when your cornerback finally does play inside coverage, that's the one where he beats him down the sideline and gets to the 4-yard line or whatever. It's like it's so simple. Like it's football, but it's just like I feel like, I mean, and I'm not trying to dog the Lions by any means. I do think that game wasn't as close as like the score said. They played a really good first. They
Yep.
played a really good fourth.
Yep.
Offensively at least, they really, like, when they started just fucking everything was good. Like, I'm sick of fucking Jamal Williams getting the ball at the goal line. Let me tell you what. I'll take my 30 points out of DeAndre Swift, but
Right.
if this motherfucker keeps stealing all my touchdowns, I'm gonna be real pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think though they ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, everyone thinks the Eagles are better than they are. You know, like, the team is just getting more hyped up, more hyped up. You see Jalen Hurts, that guy is good.
Yeah, he is good.
They got a good thing going on over there. So it's like, I didn't expect. I know you guys all thought there was a chance they was winning that game. I didn't think there was a chance, and I thought they were going to get blown the fuck out because I didn't think their offense was going to be able to hang with them, which I was wrong on that. That offensive line is no fucking joke, dude.
No.
And I think they're going to be a force in the running game all year long.
Yeah, and I heard somebody like on the Eagles was talking about it, and basically it was like, yeah, like that Lions O and D line, both no joke, like getting pressure on the D line and the O line.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, you see what DeAndre Swift did. That's all the product of those 5 guys up front. And we had Logan Stenberg, who is a guy out of Kentucky. He was filling in at guard for us, so we didn't even have all 5 starters. But and he shit the bed. I mean, he had a couple false starts early. He let on that pick 6. He let the guy through to get to Goff, which caused the dog shit throw.
Bad throw.
So he just kind of had a rough day. But when we were running, especially with our tackles, Taylor Decker and Panay, we're just kind of doing whatever the fuck they wanted. So I loved the way the offense looked, man. Honestly, I really did. I obviously, like, Goff's not the guy. You can tell that. Just watch one Lions game. You can tell he's not the guy. You wouldn't want him to be your guy. And that's fine. Like, he's doing a serviceable job. He is accurate when he wants to be, but then he makes a throw and it's like, fuck, dude, that was a huge third down, and it's like, damn, we really needed that one.
But
we had a lot of drops though on Sunday.
I was gonna say, man, the receivers did not help. Even like your guy Amon-Ra, like, who's as sure hand as
didn't have a drop last year. Had a drop in game 1.
He dropped 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like Chark had, I think, 2.
Yep.
I think Hawk had. It's like there
Reynolds
was a lot of guys that dropped balls. Yeah,
they were
it's
crucial
like, fuck,
drops,
man. Like,
too, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like,
Josh Reynolds dropped one it was a 3rd and 8, and we got it if he catches this ball, and just fucking dropped it, man. It's just one of those times where it's like, that's a Lions play, that's what keeps you from winning a game.
And that's the thing that sucks too. It's like, because it's like, once again, man, I said this on this podcast before, man. I think Goff gets a bad rap. I really do. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's that bad.
I mean, he can't be that bad. He led a team to a Super Bowl. I don't care.
He just kind of gets. He kind of just gets. He just gets cucked in a way where it's like, I don't know. And then every time something is needs to go bad for everyone's like to be proven right, it does go bad. You know what I mean? Where it's like, whether it's his fault or not, it's just funny. I don't know.
You're absolutely right.
But I think hammer the over in the Lions games going forward.
Definitely.
Because their offense is for real and their defense still needs a little bit of work here and there.
I think a lot of it for the defense, especially this week, was they were just playing too many zones, where that's why AJ Brown just kept bodying us. It was kind of it seemed like a game plan thing where Jeff Okudah didn't let a catch happen. Like, when he was on Devontae Smith didn't do anything. And Amani Oruwariye was technically our CB1, and he was technically on AJ Brown, but he wasn't. Like, we were just playing a lot of zone.
Yeah.
If we would have let our corners kind of eat, I think we play a little bit better. But shout out to Rodrigo. He played really well. But other than that, it was just kind of a blah performance from the defense.
I also think it's hard when your linebacking core is kind of dog shit to be able to just man everybody up
exactly
all the time too,
because then Miles Sanders is coming out of the backfield, and we got a real problem. Yeah,
exactly.
So hopefully
another team though. I have Jalen Hurts in fantasy football, and he had 1 rushing. There are 4 motherfuckers on Philly that had a rushing touchdown. This motherfucker did not throw one touchdown. They got to the 1 yard, or they got to the 4 with AJ Brown. They got like to the 1 with fucking Miles Sanders. I'm like, and then they only ran it in with him once. I'm like, just get in there, motherfucker. Stop giving it to Boston Scott is 5'6", bro. He doesn't need to be fucking running the ball in the end zone.
Touchdown, Boston Scott. Fantasy owners everywhere, riot.
Dude. Yeah. Oh my God. Helps nobody.
Yeah. But good day in the NFL. So looking forward to next week for you. Well, I'll tell you right now really quick. Lions got Washington coming to town next week, which is awesome because that is a huge difference between the Eagles and the Commanders. We're actually going to be playing a quarterback that's going to stand there. So I think the Lions have a pretty good shot. Right now, the line is 2.5. So, I mean, this game's going to go either way. Two teams kind of going in the same direction, I'd say. Two good offenses. Yeah. Washington, better defense for sure. So we'll see. But I feel a lot better about that game than I do the Eagles game. So
100%.
But for you guys, Sunday Night Football, Bears-Packers, going to Lambeau, which seems like every year there's a Sunday Night Football, Bears-Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how bad the Packers played. They're not winning. We're not winning.
There's just no way.
Aaron Rodgers owns.
He does own the Bears, and he said it
or whatever. And then it's Rodgers.
Damn.
He's like he's the vice president of the fucking Bears. He fucking owns.
It's got to be on Wikipedia that Rodgers owns them.
That's got to be tough on the Pack having back-to-back conference games to start the season.
Definitely not what you want to see.
No.
Well, it sucks when you lose one of them because in theory, you're supposed to win that game against Minnesota. Yep. Well, I guess they weren't. They were the dog.
Yeah, and it was in Minnesota.
You beat Minnesota. You go and then you go get an easy one in Chicago or against Chicago. Yep. Then you're sitting there. You're 2 up on the division, which it's like
that's sick.
So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword because if you win those games, you're like, fuck yeah, I only have fucking 4 more left. But if you lose one of them, you're like, God damn it! Like it's like when you lose a game in college football, you know.
So you take no shot, 0% chance in Lambeau. You guys go in there, get shit on.
I'm gonna stay pessimistic and say absolutely not. If they fuck around, I would love it. And maybe Green Bay's just not good. I would love that too. But I'm going to stay true to what I think out of this Bears team and say absolutely not.
Pack -10.
It could be fucking.
Did they cover?
I'm not. I think they cover.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, our one strength is our run game, and the Packers are pretty good against the run.
Right.
So,
damn.
I don't know. We'll see, man.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Dude, little update on first of all though, I just want to say the kicking woes in the NFL yesterday was bananas.
Yeah. I loved every second of that. I love when that shit happens.
It doesn't help though when I have 2 fucking futures bets that I gave to the people and the Titans were one of them with the wins and over, and then the Giants are the under, and the dickhead misses the game-winning fucking field goal. So I'm off to a bad start on those.
The bet on its head immediately.
Yep. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. The kicking is crazy, man.
It is crazy. And games next week. We got a good slate of games next week in the NFL. And it starts with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Let's jump into my gambling corner really quick. Broccoli Rob's gambling corner with Prison Mike.
Fuck. I'll make sure.
I only got one NFL game on the slate because you're the NFL guy more than me. So next week we'll have your picks too for the NFL. But it's the Thursday night game's a fucking banger. First game on Amazon Prime. Chargers at the Chiefs. In what is the best division in football this year. Matchup 1 there. For sure. So I got the Chiefs. It's Chiefs -3.5 favorites, and I got the Chiefs rolling. I just don't. After this week, the beatdown on the Cardinals, holy shit, they're pissed off, and they're ready to kick the shit out of anybody.
They are so pissed off. They are. That was such a statement game out of Patrick Mahomes. People saying that Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league, which I still think he probably is. But it's like Patrick Mahomes said, I don't give a fuck who Tyreek Hill is, bro. I don't care about like I'm gonna throw it to everybody and
Yep.
anybody, and we're gonna fucking dude. I think they scored 5 out of their first 6 drives yesterday.
Dude, it was nuts.
Just fucking, it was
Watching Red
insane.
Zone was literally just the Chiefs stream.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
hilarious.
it was crazy. Did you see fucking? Speaking of that, before we go on your betting, did you see Harrison Butker hit a 54-yard field goal, one step? Bananas. These guys, and then these guys missing fucking other. Like
I was
just
watching,
like,
dude. He was like, it was Butker's hurt. He's gonna come in and try this thing, and they like weren't really like Mahomes and the offense weren't really trying to advance the ball more. And I'm like, this guy's hurt. Like, shouldn't you guys be trying a little bit extra hard to be advancing the ball? And in the back of their head, it was just like, nah, dude, we got Butker. He can fucking kick this thing with no feet, and he did.
Yeah, this shit was insane. It was wild. I was like, that is
like
so
the
impressive.
hinge and the power coming through your leg to hit the 54-yarder one step. It doesn't even make any sense.
It's beautiful.
So Chiefs roll.
That's Pat McAfee's favorite.
Minus 3.5.
I love that Chiefs ball.
Dude, first game at Arrowhead of the season too. Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Chargers, if they're in the NFC North, go 14-3. This is a game you're losing to the Chiefs, though. I think the Chargers are a sick team, but this is it could have been anybody. Next pick, we're moving on. But shout out to, just to finish up quick, NFL. The Monday night game is awesome too. We got Titans-Bills doubleheader with Vikings-Eagles right after that. So sick NFL slate coming up this week. But for my second pick, I got 4 here. Cal plus 10.5. We already talked about it. Going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame stinks. They got a new quarterback coming in. They shouldn't have 10.5 over anybody. And I know that Cal's not exactly a world beater. They haven't been since Marshawn and Aaron Rodgers were there. But they're not 10.5 points worse than Notre Dame because I don't think anybody really is. So take Cal plus 10.5 if you can get it at 10.5, and then and collect your fucking money that you already got from Thursday too. Third game, App State plays Troy. It's only a 12.5 point spread. Let's fucking ride the Mountaineers, dude. Why the fuck not? 12.5? That ain't enough. They just went and beat fucking Texas A&M. You tell me they're not gonna roll the Troy Trojans? Get the fuck out of here. 12.5, easy money there. And
I love
last
that.
but not least, MSU going to Washington. I've been on the Spartan Dogs this year for whatever reason.
You have been. You said it.
I've been on the Spartan Dogs. I think that in a very underwhelming Big Ten this year, Penn State down, Wisconsin down, Purdue, like everybody across the board stinks. I think MSU has a good enough defense to be a problem with some people. Offensively, Peyton Thorne stinks, but other than that, they're solid. So MSU plus 3.5. It's a rat number, but I think you just take MSU plus 3.5 going to Washington. They've bodied 2 dog shit teams. It was like Portland State and somebody else. They have the transfer. The Big Ten people that listen know Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana at quarterback, and he's been balling at Washington. But like I said, they played Portland State and the school for the blind. So they played 2 dog shit teams. I think MSU's run game keeps it close because they're going to have a lot of time possession, and I think the defense also slows Penix down and gives him some shit he hasn't seen before. So that's the 4. Chiefs minus 3.5. Cal Golden Bears plus 10.5 at Notre Dame. App State absolutely blows Troy out. That game's minus 12.5. And then the Spartan Dogs plus 3.5 at Washington.
I love it. I think I just looked at the slate of games for the NFL. I think if I were to take any game as a lock, though, next week, I think it's Cincinnati to cover 7 against Dallas.
Think they come out. There's no way they make that many mistakes. And with Cooper Rush starting.
Dude, Dallas was embarrassing. They were embarrassing. And if it wasn't for a couple of fucking third downs that they stopped them on in the Reds at the 10-yard line yesterday, Tampa Bay would have scored fucking 40.
You're right.
So the defense isn't that great. I think Trayvon Diggs is the biggest fraud in the league. And I love that they're finally giving it to him now. they're like, oh yeah, he had 11 interceptions last year, but he also let up the most yards and touchdowns out of any other cornerback in the league. Which it's like, yeah, because bad cornerbacks get thrown at. That's why he has so many interceptions. That's why he's letting up so many
What
yards.
were like
'Cause he's a
Collinsworth and
mediocre
Tirico
cornerback.
giving it to him last night? Yeah.
Collinsworth,
Collinsworth
yeah.
couldn't talk last night.
So
He was sick.
nah, he said his voice was fucked
Yeah,
up
that
or
was
something.
brutal. He didn't even do the slide. Sad.
No. But yeah, I think, and also, yeah, Burrow's not gonna. There's no way that they come out that
No.
bad again. I mean, you don't turn the ball over 5 times, miss 2-3 field goals,
Shicey's
like
too good.
get one blocked. Yeah. I think that's the play. And Cooper Rush doesn't
I
help.
love that.
So,
Okay.
but
That's all we got. We'll
Yeah.
check back in next week to tell you how bad our picks were, and then we'll give you some more picks because fuck you.
Yeah.
Let's keep trying this
Fuck
thing.
you.
yeah. Also, yeah, thanks for fucking sticking around this week. Fucking hour and a half
Yeah.
later, dude. This is a fucking long one. We haven't gone
We
this
haven't
long in a
gone this long
while.
in a
So
while.
if you're still listening, you're a
We
fucking
need
a
2
D,
bro.
podcasts.
And all the
I-
juice
oh,
is at the end. It always
yeah.
is. Yeah, we do need 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Rogue Creative. We'll be back next week. We're into football season, baby. So these things might drag on a little bit longer because we got a little bit more to talk about, especially if the NFC North stays as interesting as it has already started. So we love you guys. Subscribe to the YouTube. That helps us a ton. If you can do that, all you got to do is literally just log in with your Gmail account, and all you got to do is hit subscribe. And it doesn't send you notifications or anything. You just subscribe. So that helps us a ton if you can do that. And obviously subscribe to the Instagram. Subscribe to the Spotify and the Apple Music. And yeah, we love you guys, and we will see you next week. Have a good Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of some more football. See ya.
Horns down, baby.
Oh, yes.